Jai Shri Mataji. Let's bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini and put Bandhan. Ganesh Mantra. Let us listen to Shri Mataji's speech.
It's not very easy to explain Sahaja Yoga to anyone rationally, as you must have also faced the same difficulty. Not only that we are facing this difficulty, but has been faced by all the saints and all the incarnations, including Christ, Blake, all of them. I've been reading Blake these days, and Don wrote to me that he's writing some sort of a thesis on Blake, friends of sinners. Written in his poems of such friends who are friends of sinners. But they could not communicate to human beings in that way as we could communicate, because we can give realization. We can make them feel the vibrations first of all. Like you can sprout the seed and we can show how the seed then gets developing. See, this is an advantage we have. And today the time has come definitely to us that what Blake has desired and asked for or pictured or visualized, we can prove it. Now, when we explain Sahaja Yoga to someone, we have to talk relatively in the beginning because they haven't found their absolute. It can be quite difficult and frustrating in the beginning to talk about something that is such a living process of our evolution. We cannot explain how we evolved into a human being. And to explain how we are going to a newer dimension is also a difficult thing. how it is going to happen, how we are going to sprout, what's going to happen is unbelievably fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And we can't believe that we could achieve that. People just don't want to believe that you can achieve it in this lifetime. They live in the future. As I told you last time, we are futuristic people. We always think of the future. The dangers of futures also, I told you what happens to people by living in the future, physically, mentally and emotionally. But spiritually, it happens in such a way that you think that in this lifetime you cannot get your realization. You are quite convinced about it that we'll get it in the future because you live in the future. So you can't accept the present in which you can get your realization. This is one of the biggest problems of Sahaja Yoga, that today we are facing the futuristic society which always lives in the future. So to explain to them at this time, at this special moment, you can get your realization. This time is meant for that. In the past, this was the future. And this future has been predicted by so many. So that future has come now, and one has to face it as a present. Every future has to be present sometime. Not imaginary, but the real future that has to face you, which was seen by seers and predicted, has to be materialized. Once you understand this point, then one can explain Sahaja Yoga that this is the time one has to expect their realization. Now, a man who thinks too much and who lives in the future would first shun it, saying that how can we get our realization in this lifetime? One may say like that. Then the same person may accept, all right, if you convince that you can get your realization, so why don't you come here, downstairs? Who is there? Come downstairs, will be a good idea. So the second point he may raise, as you must have also faced, is that even if you get realization, because he's futuristic, you see, he's imaginary. Everything he thinks is imaginary, isn't it? It's not reality. Reality is what it is. Supposing you want to think about this hall, and you imagine this hall will be like this, like that, and this will happen. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It is not like that. What you see, what you feel, is the way that you have to understand is the reality. But the people who live in futuristic ways are never realistic because they are imagining things. So the second point that they stumble upon is their own conception about God and realization. That's not reality. Reality is what it is. It cannot be changed. It cannot compromise. It is what it is. Now first, for such a person, whether they are futuristic or they are pastistic, you can say, the people who live in the past, all of them must resolve one thing very clearly. Are you a seeker? Are you truly a seeker? Are you seeking the truth? Then truth has to be not rational, not imaginary, but real. If so, we should be prepared to face the truth as it is. If you prepare the seeker like that as it is, whatever is the truth, you will face it, then the task is better. You prepare the person for realization in a better way. The second type of people are such, those who have lived in the materialistic world, in the gross life. We live in the gross life every day to day. For example, coming to Caxton Hall means money. Taking this hall on rent is money. We think of money. If not of futuristic things, we think of money. How we can do this hall, how we can take it on hire, how we work it out. All these are problems of money. So if somebody says that you cannot get God by paying money for it, God doesn't understand money. Not at all. You have made money. God doesn't understand. Whether you pay him or not, he will make the place rain, or he can give you fertile land, he'll give you fruits, he'll give you all the bounties and all the beauties of life. Whether you do anything for him or not, he's a giver, he'll go on giving. He doesn't know money. He will do it for the rich, he'll do it for the poor, he'll do it for everyone. But we think of money. Naturally, it goes easier into your mind if there is somebody who says you can pay £2 for coming in. That sounds better, because it must be worth something at least. You see, because we live in relative world of money. Actually, money has nothing to do with God's kingdom. There is no money in his kingdom. And you can understand rationally that how can there be? How much did Christ charge for his sermons? We have so many great people in this country who did not charge anything for what they said or what they gave, who were real people. And the reality is always proved in the human beings when it is done free. That's the reality. All other things that are sold out are the things which are not real. So when you come in the hall, you see a big hall and all that, and a money-minded person might start thinking that how is it without money these people are doing? How can they do it? Now, the thing is, we should be discreet about the whole truth and then understand it, that you are not paying for God's love. You are paying for this all. That you are paying, that's your business, not mine. You are not paying me for that. It's your business. If you want to have a bigger hall, you can pay for it, all of you put together, and can take a place, whatever you like. If you want, you can go to Hyde Park and have a free lecture there. Whichever way you say, I'm willing to do that. You cannot pay for it, but you can pay for the hall because this is material, this is gross, and you have to do it. So one should understand that you are not to pay for this. You are not to pay for what I say to you, or for my lectures, or anything. Or for your realization, not at all, not a single pie for that. You cannot pay for it. It's so invaluable, that's the only thing that's so invaluable, that one thing you cannot bring it to the level of this gross existence that we have. It is absolutely overflowing. It absolutely freely coming to you. So you cannot pay for it. It's love. And love you cannot purchase. Now, the second type of people who come in, who are not futuristic, are the people who believe in the past. Now they face another type of problem. They come here, they will think, oh mother, we are such sinners, we've done this sin. I mean, all the past that they have. But love never sees any faults of a person. That's the sign of love. If you love someone, then you just love that person for love's sake. You don't do it because he's such and such and such and such. Then you love that particular thing. For example, you see a rich man comes in and there are 10 people running around him. They are running around him for money. Of course, he doesn't give you anything. But you want to be seen with him so that people also think you are rich or whatever it is. Human beings have all kinds of funny ideas of living in imaginary world. But such imaginary world exists. So when such people who live in the past, they come in, they think, oh God, I have done this, and how will I face mother, or how will I face reality? I am such a sinner. There is that. Now when you say you are the friends of sinners, the first conception only, I don't want to agree that you are sinners. I mean, once you come to this place, you are no more a sinner. I think to my eyes, nobody is a sinner. I mean, if there is so-called sin, all right, it is because of your ignorance. So I would say the ignorant. The ignorant. They are the ignorant people. If you have no lights and it's raining and it's bombarding, and if you jump into a well, it's not a sin, is it? Maybe deliberately you have jumped into a well. Some people do. You see, some people are like this, come, oh bull, and hit me. There are people like that. That's true. That sort of people are also there. But mostly, it is a mistake which is committed out of ignorance. You did not know that it was wrong. Today I was reading some chapters of Bible, and I found that the punishment for doing wrong in Levi's chapters, where just like Shariat as they have for these Islamic laws, just like that. See, a man who takes another man's wife should be killed. That should be done. That was the time we were like that. You see, where we had to establish our sustenance. We had to be like that. Otherwise, we would never have listened to that. I mean, we could not listen to anything without fear. That's the sign of people who are still much more ignorant and absolutely under bondage. Like I would say in Riyadh, my daughter went down and she wrote a letter to me that, of course, if you see from outside, you will think that these Arab people are really very cruel because they force things and they make people so much religious by force. But to me, it's a heaven because I don't need any force for it, because I'm brought up this way, I like it, because they don't tell you to do any wrong things. There are no gambling dens, there are not hooligans, there are no rapists, nothing. It's such a wonderful place to live in. Nobody troubles you. You walk into any place, you take anything, no thieves, you don't have to lock your rooms, nothing, out of fear. This is done out of fear. But for people who are evolved and independent, fear is not going to help. We have reached a stage where we have evolved. It's a time of Moses that these things happen. It's long time back when human beings were not evolved to that extent to understand that righteousness and goodness are good. We may do bad, we may do wrong things, we may try to harm ourselves, people do it. But in the hearts of hearts, they know it is not good. It's not good. They should not have done it. It's wrong. Even to hurt someone. Now human beings have evolved so much. Imagine the Romans, the way they behaved and the way they treated people in this very country of ours, that they would go to any extent of killing people. But all that cruelty, that violence and that ruthlessness, and you can call even the licentiousness and the permissiveness that with which they destroyed themselves when there was a fall of Roman Empire, we can see clearly. Because they have committed mistakes, we have improved. Because Hitler came in, we know what violence is. And that's how we are correcting ourselves through our own people who are doing wrong things. Like one cell in the body becomes malignant and teaches the whole body to behave itself. In the same way, any person who becomes overactive in any wrongdoing, he comes forward later on in the history as a person who should be abhorred, a person who should never be copied. He is the person whose name is never taken. That's how we went on learning. And today we are at a stage where we are free to choose whether the hell or the heaven. So when you reach that stage, then one should not think of sinning. That's over now. Because I've told you many a time that Christ, when he came on this earth, he created that special spot for us, which is called as Agya Chakra, which is at the crossing of ego and superego, that if you awaken him, he can suck our sins. So before his coming, there was no such arrangement. He has been predicted in our Indian Puranas and was called as Mahavishnu. Of course, they cannot connect him with Mahavishnu because those people who went to India and talked about Christ, horrible people. I mean, I must say that the way Blake describes the priests, you see, it's so surprising. He says, a woe of a child. The priest put his hand on my head to baptize, you see, and he actually cursed me. See how clearly he says that he was not a realized soul, and put his hand on my head and he really cursed me because he had no right to. So because of this conversion business and this nonsensical idea of spreading, you see, conversion, because they think religion is also some sort of a political stunt. So they went into India and tried to convert people. They thought if all of them became Christians, then they will have a democracy of Christians there, and that will be under the rule of English. Maybe. But other people also now feel like many Muslims now are going to India and converting them, thinking that it will become a Muslim majority and minority and all that. They'll think on those levels, you see. But one should know that everywhere human beings are evolving. And they will always ask for the religion that is real and the God that is real. Whatever you may try, like the Muslims, Hindus, Christians, all of them have tried all these tricks of this gross level. That's not the point at all. What you have to achieve is the understanding that you are a free person, first of all. Absolutely free. There should be no fear and there should be no compulsion. You are absolutely free, because unless and until you are free, you cannot go to that realm which is complete freedom. So you are absolutely free to begin with. If you are not a free person, we'll have to make you free. For example, some people are, say, come here with drugs or with habits which are not good, or maybe some people come which are detrimental to health with the habits which are bad for the mental side, or some come from false gurus who have problems from the false gurus. So these things are to be corrected first of all. But I would not call it a sinner, because for a mother to call her children sinner is a bit too much. And I just can't think of such a situation where I could ever condemn any one of my children as sinners. So I would not say that they are sinners, but I would say they are ignorant, they are stupid, they have been naughty, and they have been dangerously playing with their lives, they have been unkind to themselves. You see, I cannot feel that way, that somebody is a sinner who has committed sins and that such sins are there that cannot be rectified. It would have been all right before Christ's coming, that we would have talked of karma theory, that we have done bad karmas and our karmas are there, so we are sinners and we are born as sinners. But Christ's coming has a very big meaning, which I don't know how many of these preachers have understood, that it means that he came on this earth to rectify our sins. So we are no more sinners now. I mean, is there someone who can rectify it? Why should we call ourselves sinners? Why should we worry about it? The basic problem with human beings is this, that they are ignorant. On one side, they are proud of it. On the other side, they are frightened of it. Both the sides, to my eye, is the same. Either you are frightened or you are proud of it. It is both one. The pride leads to stupidity and the frightening might lead to sort of a destroying capacity in you, the way you go on destroying yourself by all the time cursing yourself and saying that I am bad and I have done this bad and that bad. One has to get out of both these things and must know that you are a human being made out of so many, what you call for yonis, genes, so many genes through which you have passed and come to this stage where you are a human being. It is a special thing that is being created for a special thing after all. A human being is a special thing created for
Mahamantras.
महासरस्वती त्वमेव साक्षात् श्रीकल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवे नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्रीकल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माता जी श्री निर्मला देवे नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देवे नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देवे नमो नमः।
Thank you, Shimata ji, for this collective morning meditation. Thank you for establishing our self-realization. Thank you very much. Let's bow down to Shimata ji, raise our mother Kundalini and put Bandha. Let us join again tomorrow, same time for morning meditation. Jai Shri Mata.